Who is the first character in the Skibidi multiverse that comes to your mind when you hear the word evil? Or what about hard work or sacrifice? Well, in today's video, we'll see which Skibidi multiverse character would best fit those traits. And at the end of the video, we'll see the character that took the award for the best character in the entire Skibidi multiverse. Keep in mind that this will be solely based on my personal opinions, and you can always write what you think in the comments. So, without any further ado, let's get right into it. Now, let's talk about the trait of pride. Who do you think best fits this description? Is it the Counter Titan? Because we saw how, despite the fact he was outnumbered, he still fought. And even when he was one-shot by the Clock Titan, he still stood his ground and tried to protect his pride from the embarrassment of accepting defeat, going head-on with the Clock Titan. But I think it was because of his pride that it led to his inevitable defeat. Or what about the Clock Titan, who likes to flex his authority and always carries himself like the boss he is? I mean, bro literally speed blitzed the Counter Titan and stood there casually for the effects to take place. We also saw him calling out the Drill Titan like a dad would do to his son, which made him calm down. All this while maintaining his stats as the most powerful before someone showed up and ruined everything for him. We even saw the Clock Titan show fear for the first time, which would lead us to this next character, the Sinister. This guy is the real deal when it comes to pride. He's so confident in himself that he calls himself the perfect Dominion, a dream to dominate the entire multiverse out there. Just take a look at this walk-in. Bro really feeling himself right there. And when he decided to just bully the Clock Titan for fun, you can tell that this guy's got a ton of pride in him. Yeah, so we have 3 candidates for this award for pride in the multiverse. Among them, the Counter Titan, Clock Titan, and the Sinister. Well, for the award of pride, it should go to the Sinister, as bullying the daddy of the show should give you a lot of pride in yourself. So that's it, 1 award gone. Let's move on to the next. We have the award for sacrifice. Well, this one would be quite tricky, as we are trying to determine who had to sacrifice more in the multiverse to achieve a goal. Well, I think for this trait, we should be looking at 3 characters. Like, for example, Billy, who stood by his friends and decided to stay with them instead of leaving them behind. Well, I'm not sure what he wanted to sacrifice, but I think it proves the point. He'll sacrifice anything for his friends. Or we could go with Photoman, who we've seen had compassion for humans. He took in Bethany, took care of her, did all this risking his life, and when the time came that he was busted and there were no cards left to play, he laid down his life for Bethany. Talk about sacrifice. Photoman was really at the forefront. We could also go with the Clock Boss. As the one carrying the heavy burden of being a leader, when he saw that one of his kind was injured, he took the risk. He knew something might go wrong, yet he still went on to borrow energy from the Sinister, cracking the seal, which led to an even greater catastrophe in the future. But do you know the irony of this? That same person he fought to save still had to lay his life down for the sake of the Alliance. But for me, I'll say the boss saw it coming and just gave in, as it would buy time for the Alliance to get themselves together. So there's a lot going on there, but we have 3 candidates for this award: Billy, the Clock Boss, and Photoman. For me, I'll just go with Photoman because he could have easily just left Bethany, but chose to stay anyway. He had no ties with them either, so unlike the rest who were doing it for reasons, he had none. So the award goes to Photoman. Let's move on to another one. We have hard work. Who had to work his ass off to get to where they are? Well, we could go with someone like the Scientist. We could see how relentless he was throughout the series, always coming up with new technologies. And despite all the failures, he still continues working, and he's even the brains behind the Fortress G-Man apocalypse. You can tell he's working very hard to achieve his goals. Or we could go with the Scientist on the Alliance side that comes up with the cool upgrades of the Titans. If you think about it, those upgrades are being built behind the scenes, so you don't really appreciate the hard work put into the planning and execution of it all. So yeah, they are really working their asses off to build those gigantic weapons for the Titans. Another candidate is the Speaker Titan. If you want to talk about the most hardworking and relentless Titan, it should be the Speaker Titan. Because right from the beginning, this guy has been fighting non-stop. When the Camera Titan got infected, he was the one that went after him, which got him injured. Also, when the SCPs planted a bomb in the clock base, the Speaker Titan was the first to reach the base, disable the bomb, and was still battered up from the bombs. We also saw Bro trying to stop a nuke from going out from its launch pad by trying to press it back down. Bro really working hard to save the Alliance. Well, I guess with all these, we should give the award to the Speaker Titan as the most hardworking in the series, as it's well deserved. Now, who do you think is the best representation of evil in the Skibidi multiverse? I'm not talking about just being a villain. I mean doing evil deeds. Well, the Scientist is one evil dude, as we have seen him attack the Alliance in almost all parts of the series. He's committed many atrocities, like using the Camera Titan to destroy the Clock Titan, which was a very painful experience for the Camera Titan, and also helping to create the G-Man Apocalypse, which would go on to blast a nuke at the Titans, destroying them. But thanks to their daddy, they survived. But these are not too crazy compared to what Alpha did, literally clearing out a full race to distract the Alliance. Damn, the true definition of evil. As she stood there and watched the beings slaughtered, you could tell she's evil. And as if that's not enough, she also stood and watched the clock boss getting stabbed by the alarm clock man. And when the deed was done, she picked up his head like it was nothing. Real evil really lives in the heart. Alpha is a true menace. We also have C-Pen, the one that has beef with humans. We saw him open fire at innocent, unharmed humans, calling them Skibidi toilets. I think that's just an excuse to commit a crime. He was also the one that squashed our favorite photo man, who stood by Bethany. Well, it's quite hard giving this, given I'll have to choose between Alpha and C-Pen. With the number of casualties under Alpha's belt, I'll have to go with Alpha. But they are quite close. You could say C-Pen did it because he had no emotions, but Alpha, she's just stone-hearted. And if she was given a chance to wipe out the humans, she'd clearly do it. So the award goes to Alpha, the most evil villain. Well, we still have more to give. The award for strength, well, this one is quite obvious, and the winner clearly doesn't have any competition, as it just goes to Sinister. This guy is literally just unstoppable at this point, destroying multiverses like it's his day job, coupled with the fact he bullied even the Prime Titans we thought were strong. With the Clock Titan, no contest. Bro just takes the award. Another one we have here is the award for Rage. When I say Rage, I don't mean Rage Mode, as that's just you unlocking a new side of your powers, but I mean pure rage due to experiences and anger. I think this award already has a winner, as it's obvious who has rage in his mind and fights to destroy with rage. I'm talking about the Drill Titan. Ever since his race members were destroyed by Alpha, Bro was just angry at everyone. He even turned on the Alliance at a point. When he unlocked his true form transformation, it needed the order of his daddy to calm him down. The Drill Titan, due to his rage, was able to survive being dipped into lava. And coming out, he punched the living daylight out of the 0-1 to literal dust. Damn. You don't want to get on his bad side, as it won't be funny. You'll get jumped very brutally. So, one more award before we get to choose the best character in the entire Skibidi multiverse. We have the award for Rizz. Which Titan has the most Rizz? Well, there are candidates for this. The Camera Titan. Yeah, Bro's design is quite cool and would easily be able to Rizz up some female Titans. Also, the Clock Titan's got some Rizz too. That shows off his insane abilities. That would definitely get some tongues wagging. But despite all that, the king of all Rizz in the Skibidi multiverse goes to the TV Titan, as he's constantly taking the Pencil Woman to an undisclosed location and always showing off his Rizz abilities, catching the Pencil Woman when she was about to fall from being dizzy, and others. Bro's really got the Rizz effects, 100%. Now for the actual moment, let's do the hard work and choose the best character in all of the Skibidi multiverse. This would not be an easy task, but let's see. So, based on everything we've seen in the series, I guess the best character in the Skibidi multiverse should go to the Clock Boss. Although it seems a bit biased, based on the fact I'm a clock, yes, it's biased. I think the Clock Boss making the sacrifice to save his race from annihilation is gold, and should give him the award for the best character in the Skibidi multiverse. And also, you never know. I may just be giving the award to myself because of my profile picture. If you know, you know. However, you're free to drop your own takes in the comments. Who do you think is the best character in the series, and why? However, check out this video to find out what would happen if the Astros invaded the Skibidi multiverse. Unique Clockman out.